My name is Steve Whitehorn. I am managing principal of Whitehorn Financial Group, and we are the creator of the AE Empowerment Program. The AE Empowerment Program helps firms create a more significant legacy and empowers you and your firm to achieve greater impact on your projects, on your relationships, and your communities. It should be no surprise to you that architects should have an advantage over industries when it comes to marketing their services. Why? Because what you do is important, and people really appreciate that. Think about the last time you went to a social gathering, and it was your time to speak, and you happened to mention that you were an architect. They loved it. They were fascinated by what you actually did for a living. About 8 years ago, I was waking up to the clock alarm, and I remember the DJ talking about a study that was done maybe 7, 8 years ago. I think it was by Forbes magazine. And they were polling a whole host of people in terms of asking them, if there was any occupation that you could do, what would you want to be? You know what the number one answer was? An architect. You know what the last answer was on the list? A lawyer. Go figure, right? And if for some reason you still don't believe me, look no further than the great American philosopher, George Costanza. He wanted to be an architect, remember? But unfortunately, as an architect, it's a very difficult business, and there are a lot of obstacles or challenges that stand in your way of achieving the kind of impact in your communities that you deserve. But fortunately, there are also some opportunities as well. So let's talk about the dangers or obstacles that stand in your way. If you are a principal, you probably feel as if you have to do everything yourself. So there is a significant erosion of time and money. From a management perspective, it's as if you're putting out one fire at a time when the entire forest is ablaze. From a project perspective, things come up. In fact, things come up and there's going to be change. What I tell our clients is there are only 3 things in life you can guarantee: death, taxes, and change on a construction project. So if you're expecting change, how come it is so difficult to get paid for your effort and time? And finally, this erosion of time and money distracts you from probably the most important thing: focus. Imagine focusing on the things that you love to do, the things you're passionate about doing, and the things that actually make your firms more successful in terms of creating a more significant legacy. So let's talk about the second danger: bad construction. Bad construction leads to an increase in owner and contractor disputes. Do you remember when Ross Perot was talking about that huge sucking sound? When it comes to AEs, that big sucking sound has to do with your time, energy, effort, money, and risk. That's right, risk. During construction, you need to be able to control the flow of information. By controlling the flow of information, it gives you greater influence in the quality of the project. If you fail to control the flow of information, you're going to be at the contractor's whim, and that without question is going to lead to much greater disputes and litigation. For every dollar your attorney spends in terms of defending yourself, it costs $3 of your time in order to support that litigation. And that $3 is not billable. So the idea is that you have to control the flow of information. And finally, the last danger that everyone loathes is cash flow. You have to get paid. As my father used to say, this would be a great business if it weren't for the people. But you have to get paid, and you have to be paid on a timely basis. So let's talk about the opportunities. Many of our clients are starting to see opportunities when it comes to new projects: housing, educational, commercial, institutional, governmental. We also find that our clients continue to want to learn, to study, to grow, and to be more effective. But the challenge is that many of our clients don't have the time to take advantage of the learning opportunities. And finally, if you were able to effectively manage and navigate the challenges that you face and capture the opportunities that come in your direction, there is no question that you'd be able to maximize your legacy. Let's talk about strengths. Many firms have a significant depth of experience. We find that they are extremely creative and innovative. Many firms feel that they are very responsive to client demands and needs. And the really successful firms have been able to develop a willingness to be humble yet hungry. Humble yet hungry, not stubborn and arrogant. And finally, many of the firms, at least the successful firms that we deal with, have a very strong design and delivery process. But if you're like many of these firms, you probably feel you do everything extremely well. However, if you think about the fact that if you were at 80%, the question is how would you capture the other 20%, especially during times of growth when you have new people? Well, the AE Empowerment Program supports you by capturing that other 20%, and we call that the 20% solution. So how do we do this? Well, the AE Empowerment Program is a three-step process which gives you the guidance and the confidence to eliminate your dangers, to support you by maximizing your opportunities, and reinforces your strengths. So if you feel that you can identify with some or maybe all of the challenges and opportunities that you see in the marketplace, we welcome you to reach out to us so we can talk to you about the AE Empowerment Program in terms of how it can help you create a more significant legacy and achieve greater impact on your projects, on your relationships, and your communities. Please give us a call, and thank you for your time.